Welcome to Tour Tuesday, everybody. It's really good to have all of your faces in front of me, so thank you for joining us. It's been a month actually. We didn't have a interim Tour Tuesday since I last saw you, so I hope you are all well and enjoying your August, staying cool from this heat and dry from this crazy weather that we are currently having. While I recorded, I will preface this by saying if we do get cut off in some way, we will try to rejoin and restart up. So stick with us as best you can. We have, well, of course, one really big favorite tour that we're going to kick off with. Why is it my favorite? Because I get to go. I get to go. So anybody who goes on this tour will be with me. So I'm super excited. So we're going to be talking about our 77th birthday bash. And we have some special guests here to talk about that. And then we have two fabulous trips to Norfolk. Our coastal holiday trip, which is at the end of this year, perfectly timed for the holidays. And then in April, our NATO Fest tour. So, and I have two special guests here to talk to you about that too. So I am super excited to get started. I have somebody telling me he's not getting audio, but Keith, I'm thinking that it might be on your end because it seems that everyone can hear me. So keep trying, keep trying. All right. Let's just kick this off. Well, first, before I start my slideshow, my presentation, my slide, I don't know who I am, my slideshow. I rewind back to like 1987. Okay, we have with us our special guest. They are returning guests. So that means if you do a really good job, you get invited back. But you always got to be on your game because you could be hero or zero. You never know. Pete and Andrew have always been heroes, so we invited them back today. Pete and Andrew represent Liberty Receptive Tours based out of Tennessee. So they, you guys know that I use other tour companies to help me plan trips because they are experts in those specific locations. And this is one of those cases. Not only are Pete and Andrew experts, but they're related to a few people that are actually helping us out on our tour. So that always works well because it's not, what you know, sometimes it's who you know, right? So say hello, Pete and Andrew. Pete's on the right. Pete's on your right and Andrew's on your left, or Andrew's, I should say, in the orange. Pete is not in the orange. We're glad to have you guys back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're excited about being here.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So you're going to be on your best behavior. I'm not talking about those of you that are Starr travelers. I'm talking about Pete and Andrew. We're going to kick this off. There's my intro slide. And here's what we're going to talk about. Our trip to Chattanooga and Knoxville, Tennessee for our 77th birthday bash. Is it my 77th birthday? No, it's not. Just to be clear, it is our company, our beloved Starr Tours company. It's our birthday. We were born in 1947. Or maybe I should say reborn, but that's a story for a different day. And this tour is perfectly timed for the end of October. Our birthday party is actually, I believe, on Halloween, which is super cool. And it includes 9 meals. So lots of there is so much in this tour. Pete and Andrew, don't take up the whole hour. Okay. Leave room for our friends from Norfolk.
Yeah.
You can see the rates here, $21.99 per person based on 2 people in a room, and $26.99 per person based on single occupancy. And before we get to Tennessee, we have to start driving south west. And we'll stay overnight in Wytheville, Virginia. We'll have lunch on our own, and then we'll stay at a lovely hotel that we're quite familiar with because when we travel down 81 in this direction, we stay at a very lovely, friendly property called the Country Inn, and we'll have dinner on our own. And then we'll wake up the next morning, have breakfast, and then we'll be in Knoxville before we know it. And that's where Pete and his team take over. So Pete and Andrew, if you don't mind, I'll let you take it away while we're on this trip.
All right. Well, like you said, the first time you'll get here, you're going to get to see Tennessee. And of course, we're famous for a few things, but music is one of them. And so, Dolly Parton is from down our way. And also, when you come to Knoxville, you'll see the last hotel that Hank Williams Sr. ever stayed in. You'll get to see where Flatt and Scruggs started and where Chet Atkins started. And you get to see all sorts of great music history. The Everly Brothers started in Knoxville, Tennessee. So you're going to get to learn a little bit about that. And so then we'll head on down to Chattanooga. And we're going to see the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and you're going to love that. So, but before we do that, Sandy, do we have time for a guest?
You do have time for a guest.
Okay.
You do.
All right. So I've got a fella here by the name of Mike Gwynn who's going to sing you a song about Tennessee because, you can't come to Tennessee and not hear a little music. So, Mike, take it away, buddy.
All right. You have heard and read about the state of Tennessee. Down in that southern state is where I want to be. Where the valleys are so green, the mountains are so tall. You will know just what I mean when you hear them say you are. Tennessee, Tennessee, I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. The home of Dolly Parton in the hills of Tennessee.
Yeah, how about that?
Awesome.
You didn't know we were going to sing for you, did you, Sandy?
That is amazing.
Yes.
Did you guys know that Pete can sing?
I didn't.
He can sing, he can play music, and Mike, as fast as he was here, well, thank you, Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
He must have had the stimulate.
He has to go. Mike had to go. His wife's got dinner on the table, and so he's got to go. But anyway, hey, we're so glad to be talking about Tennessee because it is a great state. It's so varied. There's so many parts of Tennessee that when you go to one part, you haven't seen it all, and so you really need to experience the whole thing. So we're going to try to give you a lot of that this time. So you're going to go to Knoxville, Tennessee, the home of the 1982 World's Fair. They call it the Scruffy City, and there was a Wall Street Journal reporter writing about Knoxville's their successful bid to host the 1982 World's Fair, and nobody thought we'd pull it off, and somehow we did. And so you're going to get to see the Sun Sphere and all those great things in Knoxville. A great history and a great part of Tennessee, nestled right in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. And
when you say we, you mean you, because you're from Knoxville, right?
Yeah, that's right. I grew up about 8 miles from the Sun Sphere, so that's where I grew up. And Andrew's not far from there either.
Right.
Awesome. What are you called? A Knoxvillian? A not?
Well, it depends on who you talk to. A lot of people call me a lot of things. But, a Knoxvillian, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right, and then that night we're going to get to go to the University of Tennessee is nestled. It's one of the prettiest campuses in the country because it's nestled right on the shore of the Tennessee River, and so you can't go to Knoxville and not see that beautiful river and the bridges that go over it. And so one of the places we thought would be representative of our area is Calhoun's, and they have some of the best food in the state, and they're going to feed us that night. We're going to get to look out over the Tennessee River and to get to enjoy that view and just have a peaceful night there. Kind of, you've been on the road a little bit, and so this is a good way to relax and kind of enjoy your time there. And so a great meal that night, and after some a good time in Knoxville. And then we head on down to Chattanooga. Now, Chattanooga is, Andrew, do you want to play the horn one more time? Okay, there you go. So in Chattanooga, we're going to head down and we're going to get to see, you've got a really great thing in store there because you get to see Rock City. And if you can see on your screen there, there's an overlook there that allows you to see 7 states. So, we call them the 7 lesser states. And so, but we love Tennessee, so we're a little partial. But you get some great views, and you also get to see some of these great rock formations. It's something that you can't build. It's only a thing that you can experience. And so if you have the opportunity to do this, it's a very unique thing. So I always like when we're putting together trips to say, will they ever get to do this again? And I think for sure you probably won't get to do this short of coming back to our town, but you'll get to see Chattanooga and get to see all the river that winds around, all the history of what happened there. And you can see the terrain and the geography and just how the rock formations, happen there. It's just an incredible, just for that, the geology of it alone is incredible, but also just the vistas and all the fun places to go. And you can take a moment there and reflect on your life there. And so it's a great time to spend just in peaceful meditation sometimes.
Awesome.
And then we're going to head over from there. We go to the International Towing Museum. And I was just telling them about this fellow that we pulled up at a right behind a tow truck one time. And we found this one fellow that was, do I need to tell this, Andrew?
I think so.
Okay. So anyway, there was this little box, like a little cooler that fell off the back right as we pulled up in the motor coach. And we opened it up. Andrew was one of the guys there. We opened it up, and there was somebody's big toe was in there, a big toe. And we said, well, so they're going to need this. And so I said, Andrew, we should go take it to the hospital. He said, no, let's just wait on the tow truck. So Mike just groaned over there. So sorry about that. The comedy you're going to see on this trip is going to be a whole lot better than what you just experienced there. So,
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. So the International Tow Truck, the folks who run the tow trucks, they are a special breed. They're out all the time at night. They're picking up people in dangerous situations and storms and difficult circumstances. And so those people risk their neck to go out. And so there are some legends in that business. And so you get an opportunity to see something, again, that you probably won't see anywhere else. The International Towing Museum is in Chattanooga. And so you're going to get a chance to enjoy that. So hence the tow truck joke.
Again, things that you wouldn't see on your own if you were visiting Chattanooga, but you will see them with Starr.
That's right. And then we go over to the Embassy Suites, and Embassy Suites is a fantastic property. It's very comfortable and one that we've used in the past, and just a great place to stay. So they have a great breakfast there as well. And then after we check in there, we're going to head over to the Southern Belle Riverboat. And that river that we talked about in Chattanooga that you overlook at Rock City. Now you're going to get a chance to float down it and kind of see what it's like to traverse the Tennessee River just right on the river. And so you get a great meal that night, and you get some just a fun time to enjoy it and relax. And I've done this a few times. I think Mike and I have actually done this a few times, and we had a great time there. We think you will too.
Awesome.
And then you want to tell them about the Incline Railway, Andrew?
So the famous Incline Railway up in Chattanooga, and Pete, correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation. You're going to be in a funicular.
Funicular.
A funicular. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. There's not very many in the United States or across or in the world. So it's a glass enclosure that you're going to take up to the very top of the mountain, and you're going to see more of Chattanooga. You'll see also more of the 7 states there up top the mountain. And then while you're on the Incline Railway, see all the majestic views there. And then you'll also, next we go to the Battles for Chattanooga. So the Battles for Chattanooga with the Civil War history, a lot of history there. And
one of the things I like about the Battles for Chattanooga is, number one, you get more views and things like that, but it was critical. The whole South was won based on whether or not Chattanooga was held or fell. And so you get a chance to see this, and there were some incredible battles. Missionary Ridge is one of those, and they tell you the history of that, and they tell you about how the river was so important because it brought supplies to the South. And then, of course, they delivered all those supplies through the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, and that's hence the name. And so you're going to get to hear and see some really historic places. and find out why Chattanooga was such a pivotal point in the Civil War. And then we get to see that famous Glenn Miller song, the Chattanooga Choo Choo. You know, you can stay at the Chattanooga Choo Choo, or you can ride on the Chattanooga Choo Choo. We won't be doing either of those, but we're going to get to go see the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and you're going to get to experience the depot that is world famous for those trains. And so there are some incredible restaurants near there. Andrew, you want to tell them a little bit about those?
Sure. So you've got some great restaurants while you're in the area there, seeing the Chattanooga Choo Choo. You've got Nick and Norman's. You've also got the Tailgate Brewery, Bluegrass Grill. There's also the Frothy Monkey, just to name a few.
Sandy, I expect you to go to the Frothy Monkey.
Sounds fun.
It does. Well, if you're going to have a monkey,
it might as well be frothy.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So you're going to get to see how all that, if you're a locomotive fan, you're going to love this stop. And it's a lot of fun. But there's so much history there. And if you can imagine, in World War II, if you were going to get those soldiers to and from, domestically, you needed to go through Chattanooga. And so there's so much history about how, that's why Glenn Miller wrote the famous song. And so anyway, it's a great stop. All right. And then we're going to do a little entertainment for you. Right now we're working through the Songbirds Guitar Museum. And so we want to give you a little bit more of that famous comedy that I've been showing you so far tonight. It will be much better. We have some professionals that are going to come entertain you. And then we're going to head on over to something that is just a sight to behold, the Tennessee Aquarium. And this is the largest aquarium in the state of Tennessee. And it's beautiful, and we're so proud of it. And if we could take you there for an extra hour, we would do that. But I know there are aquariums all over, but we do have a very special one, and it's right downtown near everything. But you'll get a chance to kind of walk through that, see what the rivers in Tennessee have, and a whole lot more. And so it's a very unique aquarium, and I think one that you won't have seen elsewhere. All right, then we go back to the hotel, and that's where we're going to have some fun, because it's time to celebrate the 77th birthday of Starr Tours. And let me tell you, but just before we go any further, how much we love Starr Tours. They are incredible, and they if you're traveling with them, I want you to know that we see a lot of people, and we handle a lot of motor coaches. I'm not just saying this; they're the top of the heap. There, they really do a great job. And they care about it. They ask us, and they make sure that we are on our toes. And they say, "But Pete, what about this now?" So I didn't think you'd noticed. Oh, we noticed. So you need to know they are diligently planning. We're planning, but we have to prove our mettle in it too to make sure that you have a great time. So we're going to celebrate that 77th birthday bash. We're going to have Charlie Bob Smith and friends. They're going to be rocking the house that night, and so you're going to get to enjoy some country, oldies, bluegrass, and gospel music. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're also going to have some great comedy there too from some of the great theaters in Tennessee. They'll be there to entertain you, and you'll even be able to cut a rug if you want to, and enjoy a little dancing. And then we're going to have a fantastic meal. We talked about it today, and we were kind of decided that's the part we don't want to miss, is that particular meal and the dessert. And we're going to have some birthday cake there for everybody to enjoy.
That's right.
That's true.
And it just so happens it's on Halloween night.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about whether or not you need to dress up or not, but we'll discuss that, right?
I don't think so, but maybe I'll bring some props so we can have some fun. We'll have some fun. I mean, we'll definitely have fun, because if you've been on a birthday bash before, you know about all of the fun raffles and giveaways that we do. And I've already started collecting for this birthday bash. So I figured I would tempt you. Let's try that again. I figured I would tempt you with some photos of some of the things that we're giving away. So our wonderful partners have been sending us these wonderful giveaways that we'll raffle off. So we'll have a fun time, and we'll dance on a weeknight. I mean, what could be crazier?
That's right. Well, and then we're going to go on a train ride. You can't go to Chattanooga in the town going to the Missionary Ridge local train ride. And they do a great job. Like I said, if you're a train fan, you're going to have a great time. If you just like looking at beautiful scenery, you're also going to have a great time. And then we do something that is so special, something that's uniquely Chattanooga, which is the National Medal of Honor Heritage Center. And you'll hear some stories about that particular honor and the men and women that have received it. And I think you're going to really enjoy that. That's always one of the highlights of the trip. And I think you're going to enjoy that afternoon very much. And you'll get to learn a lot, but you'll also be inspired.
Love it. Love it.
And then finally, our last lunch before we leave Chattanooga is at Puckett's. They're famous for their barbecue. So if you've got a flavor for barbecue, Puckett's is the place to go for good barbecue, Southern cooking, as we call it.
I love it. And I love to end on a barbecue before we leave town,
Yes.
Well, and it's fat-free barbecue too. That's the best.
I didn't realize. Well, whenever all Starr Tours meals are fat-free.
Oh, good.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Remove
Yeah.
those.
Calorie-free, the whole thing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you knew that because I had forgotten to say it.
Well, and this is a great, really the atmosphere at Puckett's is incredible. It's set up like an old grocery store, and
Right.
And so you're going to get to see, there are a few of those around, but this one's kind of the main one. And so we want y'all to enjoy that and get a chance to see it and experience a little time downtown.
Awesome. And then we start heading back north, and we'll spend our last night in Wytheville, which is the same hotel that we spent on our way down. And then we'll be home. So yeah, I mean, tons of fun on this trip, like lots and lots to do. Just to recap, I wrote down the dates of the trip, but I must have left that piece of paper at work. So I'm gonna recap. And my tour director, I'll have Christine Durling tour directing this trip, and Karen Coate. We're working on 2 buses. We've already got 1 full bus, and we're already working on the 2nd bus. So we're super excited. And then just for those of you that want to write down the dates again, October 28th through November 2nd. And it falls over Halloween. So I hope you can join us.
Hey, Sandy, before you go, we'd like to invite them to come. Mike, can you go one more time? It'll be quick.
When you live in the country, everybody is your neighbor. On this one thing you can rely. They'll all come and see you, and they'll never ever leave you, saying, y'all come and see us by and by. Y'all come, y'all come, y'all come, y'all come. Oh, y'all come and see us when you can. Y'all come, y'all come, y'all come, y'all come. Oh, y'all come and see us now and then.
Awesome. That is the best. Yeah, you guys get super duper extra points.
Can we come back? Can we come back for the next?
You can definitely come back. You've earned it.
All right.
I don't know how you're going to top it, but you can come back for sure. Hey, everybody, should we invite them back? Thumbs up.
All right.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for this Tennessee twosome right here? I like that. I just made that up myself.
That's great.
Budding comedian.
Maybe stick with tours.
Unbelievable.
Thank y'all for.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. This is the epitome of partnership here. We absolutely trust you guys with all the details, making sure it's a fun time. This is your 2nd birthday bash that you're hosting, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. They hosted our birthday bash when we were in Pigeon Forge many years ago, and now we're coming back to Tennessee, and we're super excited to be with Pete and Andrew and the team in Chattanooga and Knoxville. So thank you guys very much. Everybody, say goodbye. Say see you in Tennessee.
Bye, guys. See you in Tennessee.
See you in Tennessee.
That's awesome. Awesome. That's great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, we are shifting gears. We're going to go a little further north. And we've got two wonderful tours, somewhat similar, but also very different because of the time of year and some of the highlights. So I have here with us today Dana Howe, who is the senior sales manager of Visit Norfolk. So wave to everybody. Hey, Dana. So Dana is quite the expert in Norfolk. So what I'll do is I'll kick off this tour and I will let Dana take us through the itinerary. Are you going to stand on your head and twirl around 4 times, Dana, to beat the Tennessee twosome? No.
Yep. And I promise I won't sing because they'll all sign off.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, our first trip is Norfolk, Virginia coastal holiday. And I see a big old typo. I've read this, this presentation 14 times. And on the 15th time, I see it says September 12th through 15th, but it should say December 12th through 15th. And actually I'm going to ask Sandy Gallucci, who's on the call, just to double check my dates, like on your phone, because I'm pretty sure it's December 12th through 15th, but we'll double check that, triple check that. It's a 4-day, 3-night trip. There's 6 meals included, $1,039 per person based on 2 people in a room, and $1,279 per person based on single or solo occupancy. I just love this first picture. It says so much about this trip. Here's Nauticus in the foreground with all of this cool, it's all lit up in a winter theme. And of course, these lights back here, and then the city. It just looks so awesome. So, Dana, well, I'll start off with, hey, we got to get in the bus and travel south, everybody. But we're going to keep you busy and we're going to keep you entertained while you're on the bus because our tour directors have lots of knowledge and are going to share some information with you. And we'll get to the hotel in the later afternoon. We'll have time to check in. And Dana will talk about the hotel we're staying at and where we're having dinner. So take it away, Dana.
Sandy, the slides aren't up.
Well, thank you for telling me. Cause yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys, when I said that I had a typo, you had no idea what I was talking about. So great. That's what I was talking about. And Sandy Gallucci, do we check the dates? Hold on, let me ask you to unmute.
December 12th.
Awesome. Okay, so I was just wrong in the month. The days are right. So it's December 12th through 15th. Quick, take a mental note of what that all says, but change the month from September to December. Here we go. You can see it. Oh, hold on. What is going on? Now can you see it? Okay,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. So let's go back one more time.
Oh, there we are.
There we are. I guess there's clearly something wrong with my fingers. And there's the dates. There's the days, the meals, the prices, mental note, snapshot. Moving on. Dana,
Oh,
3rd time's a charm. Take it away.
okay, so you guys are going to be coming down and looking at this. We have you all checking into the Holiday Inn Express and Suites. This hotel is on Military Highway, and it's one of the few hotels. There's only 2 in my city, but this hotel has her own mermaid inside the lobby. So when you check in, you will have your own mermaid. Great photo op when you check in, but just going to give you a heads up for that. They have suites and all the rooms that have the king beds, they usually have the step-in showers too. And the rooms that have the doubles have the tubs, if I remember correctly, with that particular hotel. But this is a very nice hotel. I've actually stayed at this hotel. I see we've got Orapex for lunch.
Dinner.
Dinner is Orpex for dinner. This is Greek and one of my absolute favorites. Whenever I want to take my assistant out for a good job, this is where she says, let's go. And I don't argue with her. This is in the third generation that has taken over this restaurant. The granddaughter, Nicole, has taken it over and she is cooking her grandma and granddaddy's recipes. So I guarantee you will have great food here. We send a lot of groups here and they all come back with thumbs up. That bottom one there, that's the inside of the restaurant. So
awesome.
The botanical gardens. So this is a nighttime, it is walking. There are no trolleys. The botanical gardens is definitely only for walking. You can, if you have a scooter, you can ride a scooter through it. But it is walking. They have added last year some of the components. They had added music and sound to some of it. You can hear the water running at some parts of it. There are some nights out there, they may have food trucks involved. So if you are still hungry, or maybe you've got a cold, a chill in the bone, you might want a hot chocolate. Then you could treat yourself to a hot chocolate as you walk through. But they have a trolley to bring you back to the bus to the parking lot, or you can just turn around and walk back yourself. That's usually what I do, but I love getting up and walking, so it doesn't bother me. And you'll never believe, it goes by so quick anyway. So to me, I don't think, I can't believe that that's just that a mile. But it's one of the, it usually makes top 10 in the country for voting as far as gardens at the holiday time.
Awesome.
Now, the Chrysler Museum of Art and the Perry Glass. You guys are going to be here. They should be just about finished with the glass studio. They have been doing some remodeling, and I think you guys will be there just when they have just about finished. So you guys are going to be in for a real treat with the glass studio. You can see at the bottom there, the mermaid that's in the lobby there at the hotel. When you go to the Chrysler Museum of Art, one of the things I like to tell people about Mr. Chrysler, and something that people don't realize is, yes, he was related to the car guy, but he had an eye for art even as a child. And he would go out and when he was sent away to school, to boarding school, he bought a watercolor and he hung it up in his dorm room, and the headmaster came by and was like, oh, you can't hang a nude up in your dormitory room. And he ripped it off the wall and threw it away. Well, it was a Renoir. So this guy has had an eye for art for quite a while. His neighbor up in New England liked to play around with glass, and he said, so what do you think about this one? Oh, I like this. And sometimes he would give him a piece, and sometimes Chrysler would say, well, I'll pay you for that one. I really like that one. Well, the guy's name was Louis Comfort Tiffany. So we do have quite a collection of Tiffany glass, and that is because they were neighbors. And Mr. Walter ended up marrying a local girl when he joined the Navy. He was an aviator, and he joined the Navy, and that's how he ended up down here in Norfolk with his collection. But that's a little history on the museum itself. I think the history behind it is just as cool as what's in it. And then you're going to go to the outlets. There's something there for everyone. When I'm there, I usually in there just trying to find a pair of shoes. If I have my child with me, we're in the surf shop or the Levi shop, but I'm sure you'll find something there, and it is a holiday time, and I'm sure you can check something off your list. So, and then where are we going to go? To the hotel, and we're going to freshen up to go to, okay, so don't tell anybody, but yeah, I've gone to the Virginia Beach lights too. Just because I work for Norfolk, I go to the Virginia Beach lights too. It's the only time of the year you get to drive on the boardwalk, and it's really, really cool.
The bus. So the bus drives on the boardwalk?
Yes, it's really, really cool. It is. And they'll give you a radio station when you go down there. Scott, feel free to tune in if you've done this lately, but they'll give you a radio station to tune into to have music to go to with the lights. but it's really cool when you go down there for the I think they call it the Magic Mile. But yeah, it's really cool with the lights that they do at the ocean front. And Captain George's Seafood Buffet.
Oh,
So all right.
I gotta share the menu. I pulled this up. Let me see if I can find it on
So
my
Captain
screen.
George's Seafood Buffet. Ladies, when you're packing, this is the night that you pack your elastic pants waistband. Yeah, for Captain George's. It's the elastic waist.
I gotta show them this menu. This is crazy.
Yeah, the menu's crazy.
All right, that's no, and then I'll try.
Okay. If it swims in the sea, it's on that buffet.
It is. Why can't it's not Google Chrome, let's try this. There we go.
Yeah, it's on there. Everything's on there.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, just don't even go to the vegetables. Just skip that part. Yeah.
Just keep going down.
And she keeps scrolling. Yeah. So yeah, that's the elastic waistband night.
That's awesome. Love it. Okay, good. Let me go back to my here we go. Hold on 1 minute. Now I didn't think that was gonna happen.
It's okay. That looks really cool. I'll go there.
Yeah, really.
It was kind of funny with the Tennessee guys because I actually went to that World's Fair as a child with my grandparents.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay, that's good. That's very cool. All right, hold on, desktop too. Okay, here we go.
Yay! All right, so all right, Captain George's. So you are stuffed. I promise you will be full, and then you're going to return to the hotel. And on day 3, Douglas MacArthur. So when you get up that morning, go down for breakfast. Just perhaps maybe a cup of coffee and a muffin. And then you're going to go to the MacArthur Memorial. And the MacArthur Memorial is kind of, this is where MacArthur chose. He was born in Little Rock, if you know anything about him, but this is where he chose to be laid to rest. And that is actually him and his wife, Jean. His mom was from Norfolk, and this is why he picked Norfolk for his memorial. There is a movie that starts at the bottom and top of every hour that I always encourage groups to go to and see before they go into the memorial to kind of give you an overview of it. It's self-guided, but please ask questions because they are there and they love to answer questions if you have any about, especially with MacArthur and the history with him. But when you go in there, after you leave the MacArthur Memorial, you're going to go, I think it's about 3 or 4 blocks over in downtown, and then you're going to get on the Spirit of Norfolk. This is why I told you to have a cup of coffee and a muffin only. And you're going to have another buffet with brunch. And they do a very good job. And you're going to do a cruise down the Elizabeth River. And there's the menu. You've got the menu on that one, Sandy, with you look at there, the carved steak on there. The Spirit of Norfolk is going to go by the Norfolk Naval Base, so you'll get to see the ships that are in. Typically there are aircraft carriers. I can't promise them, but that's what everyone wants to see. The aircraft carriers that are down there. We also have destroyers, battleships, subs. Don't know what's going to be in December. I don't know what's going to be in next week, but you'll get to see it all, and they'll point out a few things for you along the way as well. And then after that, then you're going to go toward the Art Center. The Art Center is, this is where we have artists that are, it's down there at the bottom there in the corner. This is where we have artists that are doing they have their work for sale, and you can go and see what they are making and talk to the artists as well. And you might be able to get a few holiday gifts from here as well. So this is a cool little stop, especially if you've got that person that you're not quite sure what to get for them. You might have a good chance of finding something at the Art Center because it's going to be a little bit of everything in there. And you have to come to Dumar. So if anybody out there watches Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Guy ate here. This is that's Randy there in the orange hat, and him or Thad will tell you the story about how Dumar claimed to have invented the waffle cone at the St. Louis World's Fair, and he'll tell you the story of it, and then you get to watch him roll a fresh ice cream cone, and you get to go inside and you get to pick from chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, butter pecan, orange or lime sherbet, and you have an ice cream cone before you get back on the motor coach and go to your next stop, which would be Nauticus. But nothing like a warm ice cream cone with a scoop of ice cream on it. And that's a treat any time of day, any time of year. And Nauticus. So you guys saw that in the beginning, the very first slide that she was talking about lit up. Well, that's the one in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. I was just there today. They should be just about complete with the renovations, and I'm so excited, but it's turning out to be beautiful in there. The battleship is going to be gorgeous too, because you're going to be here at the holidays. What do we got for the next slide, Sandy? Winterfest. Yes. So you're going to go into Nauticus, which is the science part of it, and then Winterfest is on the battleship, which is the lighted part of it. That's the positive thing for us that came out of COVID is we do the Winterfest on the Wisconsin at night now for the holidays. And there's something different every single night. They have the Grinch that comes out there. They'll have Susie Christmas. They do all kinds of crazy stuff on the battleship at night. And dinner is at Waterside District, which is right on the waterfront of downtown Norfolk. Couple of places in there to choose from. I'm not gonna sit here and name them all off because I don't want to jinx myself as to what's going to be in there come December. They might be opening up some new ones. And then you guys are going to head back to your hotel.
Awesome.
And breakfast and head on home.
Awesome. Awesome. Great pictures. This is from a recent trip that we did to Norfolk. So real live Starr clients and Starr travelers in Norfolk. Thank you very, very much, Dana. I appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions for Dana? Awesome. Lindy chimed in. She said this is the biggest buffet she has ever been to at Captain George's.
It is. Amazing. Elastic waistband. Yes.
Yep. Totally. Totally. But remember, all Starr tours are calorie free.
Right.
So, you know. Yeah. All right. We're moving on to our next trip to Norfolk, just a few months down the road. This one is April 24th to 27th. It's our Norfolk, Virginia and NATO Fest featuring the Virginia International Tattoo. 4 days, 3 nights. And as you can see, 5 meals, $979 per person based on 2 people in a room, $1,229 for our solo travelers who get their own room. So same first day, we're going to head down to Norfolk and we'll check into our hotel. We'll check out the Mermaid.
Yep. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I mean, it's deja vu. I'm pretty sure Nicole will still be there at Orpex, the granddaughter. So yeah.
Awesome. And then look at that. Our second day, we start out with the Douglas MacArthur Memorial.
Yes.
And this changes a little bit. So take us through.
All right, so the Victory Rover and the Naval Base cruises, this boat is actually docked next to Nauticus. It's where the motor coach is going to pull into, and you guys are going to walk over and hop aboard the Naval Base cruises. It's called the Victory Rover. Great sound system on there. You should not have any problem at all hearing the captain and the narration. He goes down to the naval base, and unlike the Spirit where you guys had the brunch on it, if that's one that we did in the previous one, this one is a box lunch, but it is a thorough narration of what you are seeing along the Elizabeth River and the ships that are in at the naval base. So that's basically what that one is, but it's a great narration.
Awesome.
Oh, look at there. And that's Thad. The first, yeah, the first one had Randy. This one has Thad in it at the at Dumars. And you guys are going back to the Chrysler Museum of Art, which is awesome. Yes.
And sweet treat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. The guy with the guy rolling there, that you've had both the owners in there, Thad and Randy.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So on our third day, this is a totally different day.
Yeah. So on your third day, you have breakfast you're going to have at your hotel. And is this on Saturday morning?
Scott, yes, I believe it is on Saturday morning because it's
okay. So this is on Saturday morning. You guys have to be down in Norfolk very, very early that morning because I will be in my office that day before 6 o'clock. And I will be standing at the Nauticus Loop waiting for you guys to arrive so you guys can come into Nauticus. And when you guys come in and when you guys pull into the Nauticus Loop, I'm going to say, hi, who are you? And make sure that you have your tickets. And we're going to get you off your motor coach so that you can get into Nauticus to experience Nauticus and the battleship. And then afterwards, you're going to come out and you're going to have this sailor that's going to escort you to your reserve parade seating. And now I'm going to introduce you to my partner in crime, Scott, with the Virginia Arts Festival. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit about the Arts Festival and everything that falls under their umbrella, one being this parade. Scott, take it away, honey.
Thank you, Dana. My name is Scott. I'm the group sales manager for Virginia Arts Festival. We work with NATO to produce the NATO Festival. It's here in Norfolk because this is NATO's headquarters in North America. We also produce the Virginia International Tattoo, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And we do a whole slew of performing arts events throughout the year, mostly concentrated April through June, and the tattoo is sort of the centerpiece of what we do every year. The NATO Festival and the tattoo happen concurrently. So this is the 72nd Annual Parade of Nations. There's over 100 parade units. There's bands from the US. There's bands from other international countries, military units, community groups, and there's a float for each of the NATO member nations. So the parade usually runs about an hour and a half. And then as soon as the parade is over, right next to Nauticus, where you all are going to be seated, is the International Village. And I think this is where you guys are going to have lunch. There's food trucks, food vendors, craft beer. There are performances. There's art, vendors, all sorts of stuff. Lots of representatives from those NATO member nations to interact with. Awesome. And then...
oh,
back to Dana for a second.
Yeah. Then after you have lunch, you're going to board your motor coach and scoot out of downtown Norfolk and go out to the Botanical Garden for an afternoon at the Norfolk Botanical Garden. I'm kind of excited about this. They have been working on a conservatory out there, and they're going to have a whole new look. One of the things when I was working on a presentation, the conservatory, they've got this endangered species in this new building that they're building, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be an endangered species. As animals, no, it's plants. An endangered species as far as plants go. Didn't know there was such a thing. I'm pretty sure there are no weeds in that thing, but even the parking lot, they had that set up for the rainwater to be reused throughout the garden. So it's pretty impressive garden. And you can do a tram ride through it as well. After this, then you're going to go back to your hotel, and it's not that far from the garden either. Your hotel is very close to the Botanical Garden, and you're going to freshen up. And I believe I'm turning it back over to Scott because yep.
Yeah, so Saturday night is the tattoo, and before we talk about that, Sandy has a video to show you.
I sure do. Let's see if I can share this video. I think you'll like it. This kind of gives you an overview of what to expect. What is a tattoo? What is a tattoo? So let's try it.
The largest spectacle of music and might in the United States, the Virginia International Tattoo offers an astounding display of inspirational military music, majestic massed pipes and drums, show-stopping drill team maneuvers, colorful and elegant dancers, and much more. You will know why this tattoo has become renowned as the most patriotic of the world's great tattoos. More than a performance, it's an experience.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I have never been to a tattoo festival.
No?
It's on my bucket list. So
We got to get you there.
yeah, I know.
So, has anybody else been to a tattoo? Ours or any of the other ones? There's a bunch around the world. All right, some of you have.
A few hands, okay.
So, this tattoo has nothing to do with body art. It comes from an old Dutch tradition where they would, the soldiers would be out drinking at the bar, and then at the end of the night, they'd have to call in Dutch to turn off the taps. And that call over the years morphed into just tattoo. And originally, they turn off the taps, the soldiers would go back to their barracks, and slowly over time, they would maybe play some music while they were doing that. Maybe there'd be some marching, and then over time it morphed into all the townspeople would come out to watch this procession back to the barracks. And so now we have this massive expansion of that. The most famous one is the one in Edinburgh, which takes place in August every year. But ours has been going since 1997. We missed 2020. But we came back in 2021. We were the only tattoo in the world in 2021. We moved outdoors to the Old Dominion University football stadium. We are the largest tattoo in North America. We are the third largest in the world. And we've been named one of the American Bus Association's top North American events. We've got, usually, it depends on the year what countries we have represented, but it's usually 8 or more countries represented. There's 800 or more performers. I know we've had years with close to 1,000 performers. There are bands, pipes and drums, Highland dancers, drill teams, choirs. We had a band where they played on bicycles once. I believe they were from the Netherlands. And it's a 2-hour show. There's no intermission. It's inside, so you're going to be comfortable. There is food and beverage available for purchase. There's not a bad seat in the house. As you can kind of see from that picture on the right, it kind of takes place in the round. There's nothing that's going to be in your way no matter where you're seated. So it's a really great show.
Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Yeah, I love it. And that's the, that ends our tour on that note. We'll wake up the next day and we'll travel home. So, it sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. I love both trips. I love holiday decorations, but I really want to see a tattoo festival. So I got to figure out which one I'm going to go on. So let's see. I want to get back. Somebody's asking about the dates, so I'll quickly, I'll show that screen. We don't have the tour director selected for this trip yet, because we haven't selected for 2025. I did forget to mention, Sandy's saying, Mimi, I did forget to mention that the Norfolk holiday trip has 20 people booked. We have room for about 25, 30 more. So please join us. The tour director is going to be Andy Byers on that one. Dana and Scott, thank you so much. You guys are clearly Norfolk and NATO Festival experts, tattoo experts. Thank you so much. Before we say goodbye, does anybody have any questions for them? You did too good of a job. You explained everything. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. First time guests. on Tour Tuesday. We would love to have you back when we plan our next trip to Norfolk, and we really appreciate you being here. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
this
You're
is
welcome.
great. We'll see you guys in Virginia.
Yeah, see you in December or April.
Yeah, actually, they really will see you, it sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll be getting on the bus.
Exactly. And if you guys were on Tour Tuesday, make sure you tell Dana that you saw her on TV. Awesome. Thank you, Dana.
All righty.
If you would like to book a trip, you have two ways to do that. You can call in and talk to Sandy or Samantha, or you can book online on our website 24/7, and we welcome you to join that. Or to do that. Our website is, I think, super fantastic. Our next Tour Tuesday is September 3rd. We'll be talking about our holiday overnight trip. So this Norfolk coastal holiday was kind of like just a little snippet of one of our holiday tours. So we'll be talking about lots of them, including featuring Elvis's Blue Christmas to Memphis and Nashville, and our Williamsburg, Virginia colonial holiday trip. If you haven't already joined these Facebook groups and you are so interested, please check out Starr's Solo Travelers and Starr's Cross Country Travelers, and follow us on Instagram as well. It's time for a gift card winner, and our gift card winner for today is Maureen Turley. So Maureen, hopefully you're still on the call. You just won $25 to spend on any tour that's coming up. We'll put it in your account. So if you book a trip, it will come right up, and you can save $25. So just for attending tonight. I want to thank you guys so much for being here, especially on this rainy, dark night. So we really appreciate seeing you. We will see you in September, and stay cool, everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye. Thanks again, Scott. Thanks, Dana.
Very nice. Very
All
nice.
right.
Thank you.
Sounds like lots of fun.
Yes, we do have fun. That's for sure. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.